Hello everyone and welcome back to another drawing time of INKroverts. Today I want to tell you the 5 things I wish I knew when I was 20. But before I begin, let's roll the intro first. Let me introduce the artwork I'm drawing today. It serves as a sort of cover art for my story in progress called Paper House. I've done some character concept art for this story in my past videos. And other than my YouTube channel, you can also check them out at my website, INKroverts.com. The story Paper House is supposed to be something like a novel instead of a graphic novel or a comic, so there will only be words. But I think the concept art helped me visualize the story more. I also think I'll post some excerpts of the story on INKroverts.com in the future, because even though it is a story in progress, I've still done a few chapters. I'm not sure it's presentable, but I'll try to put it out there. Back to the topic of the day, 5 things I wish I knew when I was 20. The first one is find your passion. Sounds like a very conceptual thing. Many children, or maybe some children, probably hadn't chosen what they are passionate about yet. Maybe they hadn't made up their mind. Maybe they're confused about their passion with something they have high ability. And when they, maybe a few years later, when they grow up, they believe that, it's in the past, it's too late for me to change anything. And so they would stay in their comfort zone instead of finding their true passion. And as a university student myself, I've had that experience. I've told myself that I'm almost graduating. I've spent so many years studying the subject that I'm studying right now, even though it's not the best thing I want. For example, I'm studying social science and I want to draw, I want to do art. But before I told myself, it's too late for me. I'm already in my 20s. I'm not like one of those teenagers that can pursue their dreams however they want and spend as much time as possible honing their skills or whatever. But then what changed my mind is that after asking some friends of mine and some of my past teachers, many of them said that it's perfectly normal to change your pursuit towards a completely different direction. And so then I decided that I am going to finish my degree in social science. I'm not going to drop out of school, but I also want to focus my best effort drawing, in doing art, in starting a blog that talks about art. That decision earned me a lot of happiness and fulfillment, because art is something that I really love and I really want to do. So, because we all live in our comfort zone at some point in our life, and we will have the doubt of thinking, if I give this up, will I regret it? Will I spend the rest of my life thinking, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have wasted my time choosing that decision or something like that? Well, the truth is, it is more likely for people to regret not doing things than doing things. So, if you have something you want to do, I would highly suggest that you seize it. The question is not about whether you will succeed in everything, because we make mistakes every day, but rather, we will be happier walking on the path that we are passionate about, even though it is a bumpy road. Okay, second thing I wish I knew when I was 20 is to get things done instead of being hindered by perfectionism. This is something that we all have to accept, is that perfection does not exist. When we look around us, there are hundreds and thousands of people we believe are better than us. They're great and professional artists that do styles or techniques that we don't think we'll ever be able to achieve. But if you think in the perspective of those really great people, you would find out that there are also people who are better than you. You have to get your own job done, focus on improving yourself instead of comparing yourself to other people or our so-called ideal self. Okay, the third point, grades are not important. Yes, it is a funny thing to say. If you're a student, if you're a teacher, please listen to my explanation. I'm not saying that you should skip school and not care about your academic grades. I'm only saying if you have a passion of your own, even if you have a very low grade, you ought not to be discouraged by it. I used to have a very, very bad grade in art. There was an annual public exam that all the secondary students go to determine who gets to go to university, who doesn't. In the visual arts exam, I got a close pass, a bare pass in that subject. And from that point, I got rather discouraged from pursuing art. And it's sort of one of the reasons why I chose social science in the first place. But the point is, don't let bad grades be the reason you abandon your passion. I was discouraged by my barely passed grades, and if I hadn't chosen social science then, if I chose visual art or creative media or something like that, probably I'd had a few more years in practicing my artistic skills. But still, I'm still holding on to my passion in art, and I'm still trying to improve myself in that area. So now is not the time for me to look back. And if you have other passion other than art, if you are truly, truly committed to that and you've decided that you are going to spend your days pursuing that area, then grades is only a very small factor. Because in these days, the internet is very accessible. Basically anything is very accessible. Online classes, products, or anything that if you want to keep pursuing something or try to get better at your skills, you don't have to very heavily rely on school grades to achieve that. I mean, if you have good grades, then congratulations, good for you. But if not, it is still just a bump on the road. Imagine you have a destination in mind, and in front of you there's a big boulder. And with the boulder in front of you, what do? Well, you walk around the boulder and find another way to your destination. It's just like that. Number 4 is patience is virtue. This is pretty self-explanatory. We live in a world full of instant gratification. We press a button and things show up immediately. And so these days we've heard a lot of people suffering from addiction and impatience and irritability. But if we want to build a skill, if we want to build a career, a business, or anything in general, patience is extremely important. For example, we see a lot of speed paint or time-lapse video on YouTube in many artists' YouTube channel, and because that the videos are sped up, we have the impression that the artist drew very fast. They finished the whole piece in perhaps an hour or two. And if we can't do the same, we got very, very discouraged, and we think that we're a failure and we're not enough. But the thing is, of course, it's not like that. And the same goes for writers who write books. What we see is all those books lining up on the shelves. We don't get to see the writers spending months and years thinking about the story and writing about it and editing twice or thrice or anything like that. And so we beat ourselves up when we can't manage things quickly. And what we can do is, basically practice patience and develop patience in ourselves. Acknowledge that it's not our fault things take so long. It is only natural that things take time. There are many things in life whether it's skill, whether it's producing an artwork or relationship. Things are meandering, and aside from time, they also take a lot of effort. And what we can do is to have patience and persevere. When you build up a habit, as time goes by and you look back, you will be surprised by how much you have achieved by building things little by little. The last point is have a healthy morning routine. This is one of the more light-hearted points. A morning routine is very essential because it can influence your mood and motivation throughout the whole day. It's not one of those motivational quotes said by motivational gurus. It's actually science supported. A healthy morning routine shouldn't take you more than 30 to 60 minutes. It is the time where you prepare yourself for the day, mentally and physically, like having a hearty breakfast, doing some warm-up exercise, and cleaning yourself up and drinking a glass of water or something like that. It sets your mind into motion and prepares you for the work you have to do. And when you feel like you are fully prepared, I've fully equipped myself for the day, it will actually motivate yourself better and to help yourself focus more on what you have to do. And one specific thing I want to say is to wake up at a set time every day. For example, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or if you're a very extreme person, maybe you can try 5 or 6 a.m. Having this specific waking time is to set your biological clock in a stable, regular schedule so that when you wake up, as days go by, we'll feel more and more used to this schedule, and you will feel you'll wake up feeling refreshed rather than sleepy and you want to stay in bed all day or something like that. And some people might ask, what about weekends? Should I stick to the routine even on weekends? I would say it would be ideal if you can still wake up at the same time on weekends, but don't kick yourself over if you can't. I have experienced a lot of failures. I've failed many morning routine streaks in the past, but I still find myself coming back and try again and again, because it is during those periods that I feel the most refreshed and motivated and most productive. Alright, this art is complete. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy the content, please make sure to click like and subscribe to this channel, and you can also visit our website INKroverts.com, or you can click the link in the description where I post weekly new artwork on the portfolio and new blog entries. You can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter or visit our shop, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!